Hey everyone, and welcome back to Pastry Cake Studio. Today we're making a cream cheese pound cake. Plus, I'll share some of my favorite tips and tricks to make sure your cake turns out absolutely perfect every time. Let's get started. We're going to start with 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. My tips for this would be to keep your heavy whipping cream cold because it helps the cream whip up faster and it holds its shape better. You also want to make sure you're using the right cream. At least use a heavy whipping cream with 30 to 36% fat content. Lower fat creams won't whip as properly. You want to start by whipping this gradually and take your time. Start on a low speed to avoid splattering, then increase your speed to a medium high. Whipping too fast can result in uneven texture. Now we just want to stop whipping at soft peak. Next we're going to move on. We have unsalted butter at room temperature. And then we're going to add in our 8 ounces of cream cheese, which is also at room temperature. We also have a half cup of butter flavored shortening. Let's move on to mixing. We're starting with the creaming method. This means beating the butter and cream cheese together for about 3 to 5 minutes. This step is crucial for a light and fluffy texture, so don't rush it. To be successful in making your own pound cake at home, I would suggest measuring and laying out all of your ingredients before you get started. Therefore, you are not looking and searching while you're trying to mix your batter. One of the most important tips for this recipe is to use room temperature ingredients. That includes your butter, cream cheese, and eggs. And you may be wondering why. It helps create a smooth batter and ensures even baking. So if your ingredients are still cold, set them out right now. Let's move on to the sugar. We have 3 cups of sugar. This is a lot of sugar, but to make a delicious pound cake, we need the sugar. I know you see recipes that tell you to add your eggs one at a time, and you may be wondering why. Adding your eggs one at a time keeps the batter from curdling and ensures everything is well incorporated. So this will be the longest step in making your pound cake, will be adding your eggs one at a time, and we have 5 eggs. We have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, Now for our dry ingredients. We have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. If I could recommend anything, it would be to buy a scale. Buy you a scale so you can properly measure your flour and your dry ingredients. It's so easy to use more flour than needed when you're just using a measuring cup. I also would recommend buying a mesh strainer to sift your flour. It removes all those lumps and little balls that you'll find in your flour. We want this batter to be light, airy, and fluffy. Mix just until combined. Do not be alarmed. Pound cakes usually call for a lot of ingredients, so this batter will be very thick. So take your time mixing it so everything can become incorporated. Our last step would be to fold in our whipped cream. You want to do this by slowly folding your batter over instead of vigorously stirring. We don't want to completely combine the whipped cream into the batter, but we want to incorporate it just enough. And remember, we already added our flour, so we don't continue to mix and make our cakes dense. Don't forget to properly grease and flour your pan. Trust me, you don't want all that hard work sticking to the pan. Once your batter is ready, pour it into your prepared pan and smooth the top. I used a cookie scoop because I have almost dropped this heavy bowl of batter too many times to count. So this is easier for me. Now we're going to bake this low and slow at 325 degrees for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. For our cream cheese glaze, we have 1 ounce of cream cheese, which is also at room temperature, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Make sure you're using a toothpick to check if your batter is done. When it is done, let the cake cool in the pan for 10 to 15 minutes before turning it out onto a wire rack. Now here comes the fun part, serving. You can keep it simple with a dusting of powdered sugar, or you can take it up a notch with a glaze like this. That's it for today, friends. I hope these tips inspire you to try this classic cream cheese pound cake at home. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a recipe. And let me know in the comments what flavors you'll like to see me bake next. Till next time, bye guys.